If Madeleine Albright, or Mad Al, as I like to call her, is correct, then a lot of women went to hell last night. For Hillary got shellacked like a papier-mâché balloon. The only people she won were the old and rich, meaning people like her. Everyone else who used to like her went to Bernie or perhaps to that other granite state of the tombstone kind. And so, like a desperate Dem, she turned to her favorite kind of math, division. She delightfully balkanizes the country's population into warring factions and then says she'll unite them again, ignoring the fact that one need not unite if you don't divide in the first place. But it's too late for logic. Division is the Dems' chosen calculus, as seen in her speech, recasting Americans as a collection of victim classes.
Immigrant families shouldn't have to lie awake at night, listening for a knock on the door. LGBT Americans shouldn't be fired from their jobs because of who they are or who they love. When people anywhere in America are held back by injustice, that demands action. That is why I believe so strongly that we have to keep up with every fiber of our being the argument for, the campaign for human rights as women's rights, human rights as gay rights, human rights as worker rights, human rights as voting rights, human rights across the board for every single American.
Yeah. Now, I dig the outfit, obviously a tribute to Mother Superior from The Flying Nun. But inevitably, Hill offers more division than conviction. Watch her cluelessly enlist blacks scared of being shot by evil law enforcement, and then evil law enforcement themselves.
African-American parents shouldn't have to worry that their children will be harassed, humiliated, even shot because of the color of their skin. That's what called me to a life of service, just like millions of teachers and nurses and police officers and firefighters and members of our armed services who get up every day and do the quiet work, the heroic work for all the rest of us.
So now police officers are heroes.
Yeah.
This is the hypocrisy of victim harvesting. Hillary collects them like action figures for her shelf while a country scratches its collective head. Perhaps that's Hillary's plan all along, to unite a country under a shared dislike for Hillary. Kimberly, is Sanders turning her into a radical leftist?
Yes, and turning her into Howard Dean. She's like screaming, and I closed my eyes for a second.
That's
I was
sexist,
like, wow.
AG.
Why is it?
Because remember, if you talk about her shouting, that's sexist, apparently.
Listen, man or woman, shout like that, scream at people, demonize, then you're the new Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Well, you know, Dana...
She's trying to scare people into voting for her.
Yeah, she's in dire straits. And I'm not talking about the band. Dana, she actually mentioned the governor of Michigan, saying, like, he's willfully poisoning kids to save money. I don't remember that being true.
One of her the first thing she did was come out and go to Flint, Michigan. Okay, so this is where she's going to try to hang her hat. It's her new cause that she has said, and she slams the Republican governor of Michigan, forgetting that it was a failure at all levels of government, state, county, city, state, and federal at the EPA that caused this problem, and the governor's the one who's trying to fix it and has said, I take responsibility, let's get it done. So, again, victim shopping, that's exactly what she was doing. Yeah.
Eric, could this be a consequence of the fact that she insulted the entire female gender?
I'm not sure why she did that. She lost. And, Greg, we're driving back from New Hampshire, and we're listening to the speech. It was going on and on and on, and she hit every topic 3 times. Not once. She went and we're on the airport 3 separate times. Look, she has a real problem right now. She has a Bernie Sanders who she kind of tied with in Iowa. He beat her in New Hampshire. Now she's got to turn it south and hope the black vote comes out for her. She's hanging her head on that. But if Bernie Sanders were smart, he'd continue to push her in that direction. Don't forget, Bill Clinton, her husband, while she was in the White House, was the guy who brought 3 strikes you're out and also brought welfare reform, variably hurting the African-American community greatly. Am I wrong? Is this a bad assessment of Bill Clinton's presidency? Why does Hillary Clinton own the black vote?
Oh, I think, you know, the joke about Clinton was the first black president. All that.
But what about those 2 initiatives? Those are really bad for the black community.
Well, no, I mean, in fact, initially those were backed by the black community for reasons I think you would sympathize with, which was it was an anti-crime measure to make people feel safe in their own communities.
Yeah, but who got
now it has turned around. and people are talking about it in terms of high rates of incarceration.
Right.
So that's the argument. It's being used against her, if that's your point.
That is my point. But the grander point is, Hillary Clinton is hanging her hat on the South because of the African American vote.
Well, I don't think there's any question. So
risk.
what you are talking about in terms of that speech last night was her catering to a constituency she needs badly in order to succeed going forward.
And she's hiring a firm that Barack Obama used to help, marshal the African American vote and minority vote, because she knows she's got it, because she's failing with young women.
Well,
young people.
Well, no. You know what was striking to me about New Hampshire, Kimberly, was she also failed with older women. She lost older women.
No.
Last night. I think she did.
No, I think she won. Older women. She won older 65 and over. She won, and over 200,000 over. She won.
How ironic that her husband keeps getting younger women.
But anyway, I would say this. Just a reminder, just a fair and balanced reminder from the Fox News Channel. Hillary Clinton is up big in South Carolina, right? And Hillary Clinton still leads by, I think it's plus 13 nationally, right? And she's up by, I think, 20 points in Nevada.
Do you think if she wins that she has to pick Bernie as her VP?
No, you know what's interesting to me is that suddenly everybody is coming in touch, and I think especially at this table, in touch with the idea there's a left wing in this country.
Yeah.
A strong left wing. That 70%, I believe, of the Democrats in Iowa and New Hampshire describe themselves as liberals, if not socialists.
Yeah, well, I know. Talk about ignorance.
Which can't help her.
Well, okay, but I'm saying
help
they
in
exist.
the swing states. Can we just mention one other number?
Sure.
On the issue of on trustworthiness, she lost to Bernie Sanders 92-6.
Yeah.
92-6.
That's the tale right there. And guess what? When they bring forward and say recommend that she be indicted after they conclude this investigation.
What about electability? What about electability? Who can win?
I'm telling you right now, okay?
Yeah.
You're trying to put roller skates on her and push her to the finish line.
Oh, yeah.
DOA.
Yeah, when the Supreme Court says Obama can't regulate, environmental stuff, guess what Democrats think? You know what? Maybe we should get somebody who can play the game.
Yeah. So keep Biden on speed dial.
You know it. Ahead.